Kumar Infra Projects, that's the stock on our radar. Company reported a good performance in Q3 with healthy growth in revenue and margins. Kamal Gupta, the MD of the company, is joining us now to talk about the earnings and, most importantly, the outlook going forward. Mr. Gupta, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, you know, your order book at the end of Q3 is at 16,744 crore rupees, which is higher than what the guidance was, between 15,000 to 16,000 crore rupees. Considering the activity in Q4, what kind of order book are you expecting? What would the revision and guidance be here?
You're right. We have given a guidance of 15 to 16,000 crores for the year ending FY24. But we are surpassing our guidance, and we are looking forward for around 17 to 18,000 crores of order book by the year end of FY24. We have already secured 8,000 crores of project in this year, and we are L1 in another 3,000 crores of project. So we should get converted to order in this Q4 of FY24.
Okay, got that. Can you also tell us then, does that mean that you will be changing your revenue and margin guidance as well? I think earlier what you'd indicated to us for growth for FY24 was 15 to 16% and the EBITDA margin of 14 to 15%. Should there be an increase there as well?
Yeah, so as you must have seen from our results, we had a very healthy results this quarter as well. Our revenue from operations in this Q3 has gone up by 15% to 1,219 crores. The operating margin has gone up by 18% to 179 crores. The operating margin now stands at, in Q3, 14.7%, vis-a-vis 14.2% of the preceding year. So already the margins have been improved in this year, and we are looking forward for a further improvement of margins in coming for the 6 quarters. Initially, our margin guidance was 14 to 15%. We are looking for 15 to 16% of EBITDA margin in under 6 quarters.
Okay, so there is an uptick in guidance in terms of order book and margins as well, from the current 14 to 15% that you're given to 15 and 6 to 16%. You know, but Q4 is a time when election code of conduct also comes into play. We have the central elections which are coming up. How does it impact infrastructure players like yourself? How does it impact the order activity? Is the impact more seen in state orders or the center orders? If you can give a sense of how that would pan out in the coming quarter.
Yeah, you're right. The elections will be there in April, and I think the code of conduct will be there from March onwards. So these 2 months will be a cooling period in terms of order awarding and new orders coming in. But of course, with the tender which are in bid pipeline will continue to happen, because any project which is in bid pipeline takes 3 months or 4 months to get materialized. So initially they do the RFQ, then the RFP, then the pre-bid, and so on. So it takes usually around 3 to 4 months. So during this period, there won't be any new awards of the projects, but the projects which are in bid pipeline will continue to do so. And also there won't be any change in the execution of any projects. So apart from these 2 projects, before March, Feb will see a lot of traction, and after again April, you'll be seeing a lot of traction in order inflows and...
Okay, so can you just tell us that right now most of the orders that you've got, you know, the fresh orders, which segment do you think that they're mostly coming from? You know, is it the roads, the highways, the metro rail? What part do you think is really fueling this kind of ordering activity?
I think the government is doing great in infrastructure by this heavy spending in capex, and the vision for this 7 trillion economy by FY30 further boost up infrastructure, because infra is the sector which will give a lot of support for this economy. And looking to the sectors, J. Kumar has expanded its wing geographically also and vertical wise also. We have further entered into verticals apart from metro, elevated bridges, tunnels, water, sewage, and hospital buildings. And geographically also, we've gone south. We've taken a big project in Chennai of 3,700 crores of NHAI double-decker elevated corridor along Kugam River. So sector-wise, if you see, I personally feel there will be traction in all the sectors, like, you know, let it be metros in all the cities, tier 2, tier 3, the elevated corridors, tunnels, water projects, hospitals. And so I think there's enough room for everybody. There's not a particular project we are looking. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're seeing that in Mumbai, right? Be it tunnels, be it metro, be it coastal road, there's so much happening. So clearly the activity in that side is picking up. What does that mean for your debt? Because you're talking about order book at a higher level, margins at a higher level, more orders coming in. Your debt has increased by 200 crore rupees. What is the reason for that? What is the outlook on finance costs and debt going forward?
So our debt has increased by 160 crores as compared to the last year. And that was basically because we had taken one project from NCLT in liquidation. So we had taken a loan of 90 crores, which will be, of course, paid off in 1 year's time. So our debt right now is 622 crores, and which is at a very comfortable position. If you see, it's only 0.2x. Our net debt is only 85 crores. So we are almost a net debt-free company. So I think we have sufficient leverage in terms of debt, and we are very, very conservative in terms of our financial discipline. So going forward, I think we have sufficient room. Our internal accruals are very good. So these projects of all 16,744 crores of our order book are with secured EBITDA margin of 14 to 15%, and we have all these tied up loans for this. So there shouldn't any problem for the debt or fund these projects.
Okay, that is on the debt. I just want to ask you about some of the bigger projects. There's the Goregaon Mulund link road. Can you tell us where things are right now with respect to, what is the timeline? Where's the construction right now stood at?
So the Goregaon Mulund link road is again one of its kind of project. Like this is one of the biggest tunnel boring machines what we'll be using in India. This first time we'll be using a 14.5 meter diameter tunnel machines. If you see the coastal road of Mumbai, which is around 10 to 11 meters. So this is first time in India that we are getting two tunnel boring machines of 14.5 meter diameter. We already placed the orders for that. The investigation, survey are already on, the mobilization, the casting yard preparations, all the preparatory works are in full swing for Goregaon Mulund Ring Road. I'm very sure we'll be able to complete it in 4.5 years of scheduled time given. All the other, yeah.
Okay. No, please continue.
So all my other projects which are recently been awarded, the Chennai Metro, the Chennai NHAI elevated corridor is also going on very well. We'll be expecting the revenues from Q4 in this. All the preparatory works are already done. The casting yard development is full swing. The soil investigation is almost completed. The surveys are almost completed. The people have been mobilized. So I think we are in a very comfortable position to take up these new projects in a very good way.
Okay, apologies for the interference, but we have Maruti's numbers which have been reported to the exchanges. So, Mr. Gupta, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a sense of everything that's happening with the company and the outlook going forward as well. As